Tonight, on Most Daring. From Bonnie and Clyde wannabes to best buddies gone bad.
Oh my God, there's a cop behind us.
Perps pair off in dangerous duos. First up, two generations of a crime family take down a bank, but can't make it past cops. Plus, a team of purse snatchers steal a family's entire nest egg in one swipe. Then, a clerk is cornered by two gun-toting juvies until he gives them a grown-up beatdown. And later, in the Most Daring penalty box, you'll never believe how this father and son spend their quality time together.
Get on the ground!
These are the most heart-stopping moments ever caught on tape. True stories of real people in real danger. This is Most Daring Dangerous Duos.
Charlotte, North Carolina. You'd think Donnie Jones's mother would be proud watching her son follow his elders in the family business. But unfortunately, that business is robbing banks. Here he is, in the gray mask and blue hoodie, right next to his grandfather, John L. Porter. As Captain Alan Brandon tells it, they've recruited a third man to take the bank down any which way they can.
They manhandled the employees and other customers and ended up spraying one individual with pepper spray.
Instead of teaching his grandson to throw a football, Pop shows Donnie how to herd helpless employees like cattle into the vault. Then he spoils his offspring with wads of cash from the drawers. Now that the robbery has been a success, Gramps shows Donnie the finer points of the getaway. But it's one life lesson the old man hasn't quite mastered. Cops catch up to the familial felons outside a housing complex. They corner the thugs in a dead end, and Junior tries to run. But cops slam the door on any escape.
As he was exiting, he tried to jump in front of our police cruiser, hit him, knock him back, and bent the door around over the front driver's door.
Gramps is banged, but getting no sympathy from lawmen.
Is he hurt? I don't care.
Officers recover the spoils and haul in a 4-member hit squad, including a female getaway driver, Angela Laws.
What you mean that made you do it? It made me good, it made me glad. I didn't want to run it out.
The grandfather and grandson thought they had the perfect plan. But instead of splitting the cash, 2 generations of career criminals will have to wait for their reunion in 5 to 10. Tamarack, Florida. This late-night clerk is about to be hit by 2 serial armed robbers. The dangerous combo are horror movie buffs desperate to live out their twisted celluloid fantasies. One even wears a mask from the movie Scream. The clerk knows what happens to the victims in that film, and he doesn't want to end up like Drew Barrymore. Thankfully, the gunmen are more interested in taking the cash than in making a killing. Across town, Stefano Madrigal is about to land a starring role in the sequel. He's dozing off behind the register, totally unaware of what's lurking in the night. The would-be Freddy Kruegers enter in a fury, jolting Stefano with their commitment to their roles.
Out of nowhere, I see two guys coming into the store. They're jumping over a counter that has a space about this big. I don't know how someone could actually fit in something like that.
With a gun in Stefano's face, they force him to open the register. The nervous cashier follows their orders, convinced these two wouldn't hesitate to shoot. Then, in only 30 seconds, the thieves are gone. Thankfully, this scary movie ended up being a short film.
They took the money, and right after they did, they started running away. I was told that they were in there for less than a minute. I say it felt like an hour.
The outlaws are still at large, but Stefano is relieved that their surveillance video exploits didn't become a slasher pick.
I did what I did, had to do it to survive, because if not, if I would have done one action wrong, they probably would have pulled that trigger on me.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A big sale at a crowded shopping mall may be a magnet for bargain hunters, but it also attracts a couple of old-school purse snatchers looking for prey. And they've already got their eye on a mark. The husband and wife pickpockets slide into position. And within seconds, it's all over. What just happened? Take a closer look. The burly bad guy carefully checks the target. A family shopping. Then signals to his better half that it's a go. The innocent dad is distracted by his kids, and mom by a sale, leaving her purse hanging on the stroller. While the bagman blocks the father's view, the female felon shields the deed with an unfolded t-shirt. He snatches their nest egg from right underneath their noses and makes off with the pocketbook hidden behind a few grocery bags. What makes the crime even more insidious is that the shopping family had just cashed their tax refund. In fact, the pickpockets followed them from the bank. But their mom and pop misdeed was caught by the security camera. Police are certain that their days of purse snatching will soon be over. Orlando, Florida. A lone cashier against two armed robbers are the odds most dangerous duos crave. But when this employee is confronted by punks half his age, one of a kind just might beat a pair. The two junior high classmates storm the store with a rifle, desperate to pass as grown-up crooks. But they're not fooling the clerk, who sees right through their squeaky voices and Spider-Man masks. The worker follows their orders, but as soon as he sees an opening, he schools the teeny boppers. The cashier lunges for the gun barrel and quickly overpowers his smaller opponent, grabbing the weapon like a teacher confiscating a slingshot. He even pulls the kid's mask off, sending him and his pal hightailing it for home. The triumphant clerk returns with the gun and notifies police. For Commander Spike Hopkins, the description of the getaway vehicle tells it all.
Both of them got on bicycles and fled the area.
They remain at large, but Hopkins knows reckless juvies like these won't stay hidden for long.
We do have good video of the suspect's face. He looked to be about 14, 15 years old. He was very young. We also have fingerprints that we can get off of the rifle.
These wannabe criminals skip school for some quick cash, but still learned a hard lesson. crime doesn't pay.
Coming up, a high-speed couple goes toe-to-toe with police and nose-to-nose with a wall. Plus, a husband and wife shoplifting team get a big-time beatdown. And drug-crazed road warriors could wind up roadkill.
The rules of attraction vary from one couple to the next. But as you're about to see, sometimes it's the allure of lawlessness that forges a dangerous union. Sapulpa, Oklahoma.
QT North parking lot, 821, 3% Robert.
For some gals, riding shotgun with a known troublemaker is a thrill. But the lady in this hot rod will live to regret that decision, if she lives at all.
Headquarters here, number 2 northbound, let's get.
Patrolman Steven Zamudio just wanted to tell this guy he had a taillight out. Instead, the driver plays a head-on game of chicken with the cop.
He went off the road.
He's hoping to intimidate the officer, but the only person he scares is his female friend.
He went off the road, off to the right, spun around. We came back almost nose to nose, almost struck my car. And that's when I thought, you know what, we're getting this guy.
She wants out of this hell ride, but her defiant companion only raises the stakes.
We got into an area that had very large, steep hills. So every time I come up to the crest of a hill, I was covering my brake just in case.
Now Zamudio knows a broken taillight is just the tip of this guy's rap sheet.
Eastbound 21st, eastbound 21st.
He still isn't sure exactly why the man is running. But he does know the woman is getting the unsolicited ride of her life.
On that road, we reached, 110 to 115 miles an hour.
It's an all-or-nothing strategy that could soon take a turn for the hearse.
23rd Street now.
The Leadfoot attempts a right turn that goes dreadfully wrong.
He is going way too fast. He slides sideways, jumps up onto the curb, and slams right into the side of the building.
The female passenger can't surrender fast enough.
It's like she's in a state of shock. She's screaming, I told him to stop, I told him to stop. He was stupid, I told him to stop. She was absolutely terrified that she was going to die in a crash.
The driver offers no more resistance. He's taken into custody, putting an end to his hard-charging ways. He took off because he had outstanding warrants. Hopefully his running mate learned a valuable lesson about the company she keeps.
You choose who you hang out with and who you run with, and you do something like this, you're going to have to live with the results. Scars and stitches and all.
Riverside County, California. Police are hot on the tail of 2 burglars fleeing a robbery.
Armed robbery suspect, 15 freeway southbound.
Like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, these career criminals are well known to authorities who are desperate to bring their crime spree to an end. Spotting an opening, an officer throws down a spike strip.
He ran right over it on the right side that immediately flattened his tire. He's off on the right side now. This may come to an end here pretty shortly.
The Toyota slows, but police are in for a surprise.
He's on the shoulder about 20 miles an hour right now.
The tough-as-nails outlaws have an apprentice who's decided he can't take the heat.
Looks like this person's gonna make a run for it. Still going too fast. He's going too fast. He's fallen.
His ruthless partners barely slow down long enough for him to tumble out.
One subject is out. They're taking him in custody. Other units are continuing on with the vehicle.
Meanwhile, police try to seize the moment.
These suspects considered armed and dangerous. That suspect's with a shotgun.
They move in carefully, ordering the perps to surrender. But like Butch and Sundance, these crooks are determined to get away or die trying.
There he goes again. He's gone off again. Front tire completely flat. He's going to start throwing off some of that rubber. There goes the tire. It's completely off. He's on the rim.
Their car may be crippled, but they're out to defy the odds.
You can see a portion of the vehicle coming off.
Speeding toward an intersection, the driver makes a desperate move.
Driver jumping out. He's running. Looks like he's trying to carjack a vehicle.
Stunningly, the quick-thinking motorist speeds away before falling prey to a carjacking. Now, police spot another chance to halt the rampage.
Here comes the CHP. They've blocked him in.
When the suspects try to run, cops open fire with pepper bullets. They hope they've brought the hoods under submission.
The door's closed. Weapons are drawn. It's a standoff. There's no way this person could get out right now.
But the bandits are just cooking up Plan B.
Oh, no. Astonishing.
Incredibly, the fugitive escapes the barricade and rages on 3 tires.
Okay, we've got a vehicle that's stopping him out in front of it. He's off to the side of the road and then back on.
At last, this epic getaway reaches its final act as the car sputters to a halt. Cops again surround them with weapons drawn and riddle the car with more non-lethal rounds.
Driver coming out. Driver coming out.
Blinded and gagging, the relentless felons can take no more. And they wisely surrender. These do-or-die desperados were wanted, dead or alive. But after running more than 90 miles across 4 counties, their flight from justice ended in a humbling takedown, and not a blaze of glory. Easley, South Carolina. Lieutenant Bob Felton guns it to keep pace with a drug fiend and his panicked girlfriend.
Speeds reached about 120 to 125 miles an hour.
The meth head took off with a woman's young son in tow. She jumped in to save the kid, but it may be too late.
1050 at Exxon on corner of Powdersville, 123 airbag deployment.
The tweaking driver pilots his baby mama's car right into a utility pole.
The damage in the vehicle was unbelievable. The hood was crashed in, the windshield was smashed, and the roof was actually buckled and started ripping. It's like something you'd see in a movie.
Police are horrified to discover the toddler on board.
I was real scared and worried for the welfare of the child in the vehicle.
But officers and the mother are relieved that the boy is completely uninjured. The wheelman is clearly unstable.
It really boggles the mind sometimes.
The woman is just grateful that her half-naked boyfriend didn't make an orphan of her young, helpless son. The owner of this market in Turkey keeps a wary eye on 2 customers. The man kneels down, loading up on items from the bottom shelf. Then he carries them to his wife, who stows the products under her clothes to smuggle out of the store. But the shopkeep isn't letting these 2 go so easily. He's just waiting for backup. Outside, his brother helps him nab the pilfering perps. The store owner in the suit holds nothing back. With his sibling on hand to lend a fist, They've got the muscle to take the shoplifting spouses down. The husband takes 2 merciless boots to the head. His angry escorts hang on tight, and the owner delivers a vicious headbutt. It's a staggering shot. Finally, an employee calms the tense situation and leads the crook inside, where his shamed wife is returning the stolen items. Police arrive and cuff the battered man. The thieving couple is off to jail. They thought their tag team shoplifting would double their score. But when the owner pulled his brother in for help, all it did was multiply the smackdown.
Still to come, the most daring penalty box, where a saleswoman gets a stunning surprise from a father and son crime team. But first, a couple's reckless run from the law leads to a nasty split. Plus, a store clerk gets strong-armed by a pair of beefy burglars.
Violence begets violence. And when criminals team up, the danger goes double down. Cincinnati, Ohio. Police are in hot pursuit of 2 car thieves, a man and his girlfriend. The street is a dead end, but the sweethearts take a life-or-death gamble. The lovebirds leap from the moving car. The driver lands on his feet and keeps running, unconcerned about his honey. And she's not so lucky. While her man leaves her in the dust, she's dragged on her face, smacked into the pole, then run over. Amazingly, she gets up, dazed but not seriously injured. Before she can run, an officer grabs her. These lovers on the lam are nearly torn apart by the Grim Reaper. Instead, their reckless romance will be split up by separate patrol cars. St. Petersburg, Florida. Convenience store manager Dale Ulrich greets his latest customer. A young woman who's got a deadly surprise.
I followed her into the store, asked her if I can help her, and that's when she pulled out a gun on me. And I was really, really scared.
While the gun woman grabs some cash, her boyfriend forces a customer onto the floor. They score a few $100s, but they're in search of a bigger jackpot. Lottery tickets.
Give me all your money and all your $20 lottery tickets.
Thanks to the surveillance video, the 2-bit robbers are nabbed before they can scratch off and win. Now their grand prize is a day before a judge and a date with Gamblers Anonymous. Ocala, Florida. 2 hooded gunmen are about to ruin this clerk's night. They strike at closing time and ambush the lone employee just as he's locking up. There may be only 2 of them, but they possess the strength of 10. So even though the worker holds onto the door for dear life, together, the thugs savagely rip the door right from its hinges.
He was trying to stall them or trying to show that he would put up a fight, hoping they would just turn around and run away. I'm sure he didn't expect for that door to come off the hinges. That's not something that's seen every day.
One crook enters wielding a pistol and aims it straight at the pleading shopkeeper's head. The terrified man knows he'll be punished for resisting.
There's no telling what they were capable of. If they were really willing to pull the trigger and take that clerk's life.
But when the intruders turn away, the victim makes a break for it. Confident that there's power in numbers, the two crooks are right on his heels. But after a chase across the parking lot, the wily clerk eludes the pair and returns to call for help. Thanks to his quick response, the Hoods are arrested just hours later. The dynamic duo thought they could score some easy cash at closing time. Instead, they left the shop empty-handed. After leaving this terrified cashier unhinged.
Up next, a pair of sledgehammer-wielding hoodlums raise hell with some heavy metal. Plus, two thieves cause maximum damage to get at a store's hidden payday. Then, in the penalty box, it's one of the most bizarre crimes we've ever seen. From one of the most dysfunctional families in America.
As we're about to see, when criminals double up to get the job done, there's no telling how far their lawless sprees will go. Columbus, Ohio. Two burglars hit a sports bar in the middle of the night. One man acts as a lookout, and he quickly spots the cameras outside their latest target.
They were just looking for the best possible way to get in, and then I think they noticed the cameras. So then they snipped the camera outside.
But the goons don't realize how extensive the surveillance system is.
We have two outside and two inside. He thought maybe if he cut those outside that he probably thought everything was okay.
Now, every step of their crime is recorded as the bagman smashes the jukebox with a sledgehammer.
It took him three or four hits to get into it, which told me he's done it many times before. And he knew exactly what he was doing, knew exactly where to hit it.
The sound system isn't the treasure trove the bashing bandit was hoping for. While his accomplice guards the door, the shaved-headed thug's exploits stay well within camera range. He pounds the cash register open, but there's hardly any money inside.
We had $100 that was in it that we keep overnight, and that we used to keep overnight.
So with his buddy's help, he hits the popular sports bar where it really hurts, stealing their 3 flat-screen TVs.
It felt like a sucker punch to the stomach, basically.
The detective told me that because of the video, he felt very confident that this would be solved.
The next day, we were on the news, and then 2 days later, the main guy was caught.
The hardware-swinging punks thought they were too tech-savvy to be caught. But they made one fatal mistake by leaving 2 cameras untouched.
I think they thought they were a smart duo, but I think they ended up being a stupid one.
Palm City, Florida. 2 twisted thieves think they figured out how to pull off the perfect heist. One breaks in and attaches a tow strap to the safe. Meanwhile, his accomplice tethers the other end to his pickup. Once the wire is secure, the driver lets her rip. As the 2-ton vehicle peels out, the safe tears through the counter carving a crooked trough of destruction in its wake.
This was the first time I'd ever seen such devastation. It looked like a bomb went off inside my business. The floor was damaged, the tiles, the sales counter was ripped to pieces, the cash register was literally torn out of the building and was about 100 feet outside the front door.
The would-be criminal geniuses have the safe they were after, and the angry businessman is stuck with $30,000 in damages.
I was kind of hoping when the safe flew out the front door, it hit them too.
Cops suspect this duo in a string of similar robberies where their trademark is maximum devastation. And when they're caught, they'll be doing maximum time. Sao Paulo, Brazil. This wannabe Bonnie and Clyde have robbed dozens of Chinese supermarkets, and they've got their routine down pat. As soon as they enter the store, the man takes out a gun. Then, the plundering pair divide their duties. She plays lookout, not allowing anyone to exit, while he acts as the muscle. He corrals a security guard, then pistol whips him into submission. The brutal attack leaves the professional cowering in fear. With the guard out of the way, the woman cleans out the cash register. Then, as calmly as they entered, the armed combo heads out with their loot. Their tag team tactic helps them stick up over 30 stores before they're taken down. It was a remarkable crime spree, but in the end, this inseparable twosome is no match for the long arm of the law.
Still ahead in the penalty box. Get on the ground! From the Bad Parenting Hall of Shame. Instead of college applications, this proud papa helps his son fill out his rap sheet. Plus, when cops use bait cars to catch crooks,
Oh my God, there's a cop behind us.
thieves fall into the trap 2 at a time.
Here's proof that when it comes to four wheels, two heads aren't necessarily better than one. Mayfield, Kentucky. Security cameras at a tractor and lawnmower dealership are rolling when the business becomes the target of a pair of rival landscapers. The grass-cutting gangsters circle the building, making sure they're the only two people on the lot.
They were prepared. They had the truck, they had the trailer. They were very much prepared for what they wanted to take.
But even though they may have green thumbs, they're short on gray matter. First, one of the landscaping larcenists scans the merchandise in full view of cameras. Then the other prepares a lawnmower, removing the roll bar so the device will fit in the trailer. The robber starts it up, but there's just one problem.
He pulled around the front of the building and started to make a right-hand corner towards his trailer, and that's when it ran out of gas.
The suspects have to settle for their second choice and load up a small tractor to go. But when they back up to turn off the lot, the machine makes a break for it.
They apparently didn't put the park brake on, and the tractor rolled inside the trailer, rolled out the back into the trailer about halfway, and busted their tailgate open.
The criminal masterminds eventually fix the tailgate and drive away.
We've got 16 cameras located all over the place. We've got license plate numbers. We've got faces. We just have to locate them.
But if their hideout is as organized as the heist, it won't be long before these two weed-whacking wrongdoers get clipped. Bait cars are the perfect way for police to turn the tables on thieves. But the one thing sweeter than a crook busted on tape is a 2-for-1 deal. Houston, Texas. An SUV with the keys in the ignition is just too tempting for a couple of outlaws.
Let's go. I'm going.
The partners obsessively wipe their fingerprints off every surface, oblivious of the hidden eyes watching their every move. The passenger only has one thing on his mind.
Say, bring me over this side. Get out of the way. Hey, give me some crack.
Right on camera, they complete an illicit drug deal. The driver finally drops off his partner, and police aren't far away. Houston PD arrest both men. But in Mesa, Arizona, bait car operations are about to score 3 pairs. A bad boy introduces his girlfriend to the fine art of stealing cars.
It's kind of way easy. Oh, the keys were in? That seems too easy. Did that happen?
Yep.
Clearly, this relationship has communication issues. She insists this is a bait car, but he's not listening.
What about those cars that you're talking about where people, they leave them and then just keep them?
They would have.
Finally, she wins the argument when a cruiser catches up to them. A woman's intuition should not be ignored. In a different bait car, these young partners in crime can hardly contain their excitement. The driver even reveals evidence of a previous offense. A stolen radio he had hidden under his shirt. But when the boys spot a police cruiser on their tail, the bandits have nothing to laugh about.
Driver! Get your hands off!
Most bait car thieves are so excited about their easy score, they just can't accept that the joke's on them.
Oh no. Oh my god, there's a cop behind us. Oh my god, dude. There is.
What?
Yes.
Shut up.
Oh my god.
Really?
No, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? God. Damn it.
Even after police stop them, this dim-witted duo refuse to believe they've been had.
Hands up! Hands up! Get on the ground! What? Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! What happened?
It's good news for police when they hit 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh my god, there's a cop behind us. Oh my god, dude.
And it's great news for car owners that all of these songbirds will be singing their duets in prison.
Coming up, a truly shocking penalty box where a son follows in his father's footsteps as a gun-toting gangster. On Most Daring.
Huntington, West Virginia. The Jolly Pirate Donut Shop is usually a safe haven for late-night treats. But tonight, 2 hooded bandits are about to place it under siege. And believe it or not, this dangerous duo is actually a father and his son.
Give me the money, quick.
Like a deadbeat dad making Halloween costumes, the only disguises this pop put together were plastic trash bags with eye holes. It almost seems like a joke, but the only joke here is Daddy's parenting skills.
It was very tense, and the new girl actually asked me if this was for real or not. And I had to explain to her, yes, this is for real.
The family goons in shoddy costumes seem more like trick-or-treaters than killers. And an elderly customer refuses to comply with their demands.
I was trying to will him to lay down. I wanted him to just get on the floor because I was so scared they was going to hurt him. They just didn't know what they were going to do.
Fearing the cops will arrive at any second, the thieves opt to go straight to the booty. But Junior is hung up on the register. The machine is tethered to the counter, and gets snatched from his hands. Finally, Dad shows him how it's done, and the crooks take off. But this paternal pair was a few donuts short of a dozen.
They dropped change and receipts and everything on their way out the door. Left a nice little trail for the cops to follow.
The father-son combo thought the jolly pirate was ripe for plundering. Instead, their bungled heist will have them both walking the plank in county jail.
Double trouble comes in many forms. From budding gangsters to seasoned criminals. But two of a kind isn't always a winning hand. Not when it's trumped by cops and everyday citizens who are more than ready to stack the deck against dangerous duos.